Give a great hand, please. Any questions from y'all? Any questions? No questions? Okay, hopefully we can get on with the rest of the funny now. Let me double check. I think I'm supposed to introduce the next skit. All right. Oh. And here is Mr. Noah.
Yes. So, how many of you, I know we're having fun here, but I thought I'd do a little English lesson, and it's not going to be that painful as it sounds. It sounds kind of painful. But many times, when you're writing something, you have to put in punctuation, right? It's really awkward if you just write sentences and they just keep going and there is no punctuation. It gets very confusing. So someone came up with an idea of what would it be like if we did something called, where you put in sounds for punctuation. For your period, for your comma, your exclamation point, your question mark, all those different things. So then there's not confusion when someone's talking. A lot of times people get confused when they're talking, they don't understand what's being said. So that would make things more clear. So they came up with this thing called phonetic punctuation. So I know Jackie just thoroughly reminded us that we're not going to be flirting here tonight. We'll bring Jackie out, sick her on you. I'll go ahead and read a love story. I know a lot of you are at that time in life when you're realizing that there is another species out there of guys or girls. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? We're getting it illustrated right there for us. Good. So I'm going to read a little love story for you, but it's going to be with punctuation, this phonetic punctuation. So let me go through them real quickly. So first you have your period. It's quite simple, right? It's that it has an end of a declarative sentence, the end of a statement. It just goes like that. That's your period. So you have to put that at the end of a regular sentence, just like that. Then you have the comma. The comma we know comes in when you have a series of things. We need to pause for a moment, so it's just that's all it is. Simply is a comma. Okay. Then we have the colon. The colon, of course, is located, we know, under the fifth dorsal. No, excuse me, sorry. That's science. Colon is the period over the period. So it's simply, or if you're left-handed, and there's Indiana Jones. Well done, sir. Then we have the semicolon, which, of course, is the period with the comma. So it's like you would think, right? That's our semicolon. Then the exclamation point. That looks like a period that has blown its top. And so, of course, in phonetic punctuation, they make it sound like that. Shh. For your left-handed people, shh. Okay. Then we have the question mark, right? You come to the end of something, you have a question, and we want to make sure people know that you asked a question. So this one really makes sure that everybody knows it's a question mark. Or something like this. Then we have quotation marks. Quotation marks are very, very important because, of course, we need to know the exact words that someone is saying. And people get so confused sometimes when they think they're saying what somebody else is saying, but you're not exactly sure. Phonetic punctuation would help so much. So you simply go for your quotation marks or for your left-handed people. Right, okay. So those are our quotation marks we put around someone's exact words. Our last one is our dash. Now the dash is kind of unusual. We don't see that very often. It kind of comes when a thought kind of is left hanging or tension is happening and it kind of leaves us hanging out there. We're not quite sure what's going to happen next, and it goes something like this. It's the dash. Okay. Now, so let me read this wonderful story for you here for all you fledgling lovebirds. Through the open window, there suddenly came light. Beautiful Eleanor sat dreaming of but one thing. It was love. It had been 3 years since she and Sir Henry had met. He had held her in his arms, stroked her beautiful hair, held her hand, and kissed her. Eleanor exclaimed, Henry! Is this the first time you've ever been in love? enter the room. He grabbed Henry by the back of the neck. Ah! He drug him across the floor. Ah! He opened the door. Ah! He threw him out. Ah! He sailed through the air. Ah! He landed. The last thing they ever heard from Sir Henry was the sound of his rapidly departing horse. Thank you. Killing time. No. I'm going to tell you a story here while they change the set. Have you heard, we like fairy tales, right? I think most of us like fairy tales. Maybe at least when you were young you liked them. So my parents and people would always tell me fairy tale stories, and one of the favorites was Sleeping Beauty. But then one person thought it was a little too dull, and so they decided, what would it be like if we switched the first letter of each word with the one before it? And so they decided that would be a lot more fun to tell the story that way. So I'm going to tell you the story of Sleeping Beauty, but switching the first letters of certain words with the ones right next to them. And you see if you can catch on, okay? Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a corn country, there lived a beautiful girl. And also in this corn country, there lived a wuggly old itch. But now this wuggly old itch did not like this beautiful girl, because she was just as put as she was gritty. So the wuggly old itch thought, and she decided to cast a spiegelel on the beautiful girl, and made her slow to geek. And, chuckled the wuggly old itch, Bonotty is going to lull and flub with Benny-Otty, who's a T-ball slime. And, she chuckled, she's going to go on sleeping until Bum-Sotty kisses her so she can ache and wop. So, the wuggly old itch cast a spiegelel on the beautiful girl and made her slow to geek. And from that time on, she became known as Beeping Slooty. So, one day, a Saveling trailsman was walking by the cottage, and he whooped into Linda. Whoa. When he saw Beeping Slooty, he saw how where she was. He didn't care whether she was neeping or slot. So he broke the blast, and he climbed into Linda, and he knelt on his fees, and he hooked her on the tan, and he planted a kiss on the nip of her toes. And Beeping Slooty, she opened her eyes. "Guy witness," she said, my mare must be a Hess." "Well, it certainly is," said the Saveling trailsman. "But I'm not really a Saveling trailsman, I'm really a hung and prancing hens. You see, a wuggly old itch put a purse on me and canished me for my bingo. Until I could kiss a Beeping Slooty." "Well, strisn't the same," she said. "I guess we have so cutchin' mommin'." They were serried. And one of the dirst things they fid was that wuggly old itch pressed into kiss 'em, so she couldn't coo any more dicked weeds. So the story of the Maury is this. If you want to have a long life and you want to end up thrittin' on a sone, don't ever chass up a pants to kiss a Beeping Slooty.